It was like
it's not the
curb
patty gear.
level, like look at each other. Like, was it us?
Good to go?
Oh, guys.
Yeah, let's figure that out.
Yeah, it's okay. For now, I got it. It's a foolproof plan.
Oh, I did.
That's
that
like the
entire
meme,
tag
like the
team
Cheeto
draft.
on the lock. Hey, don't worry, guys. We're all safe.
What is this one?
Okay, tech guy Kevin.
Got it. All right, let's go. It's a Thursday episode, which means we got one of your favorite Barstool personalities. Bob Fox is in the building.
Or not. I've been getting booed lately. I don't know.
That was, dude, between... So Dave and Bob went to UFC, and when they got put on the Jumbotron, they got booed.
Yeah.
But Dave had just gone on CNN and said, like, Trump and the tariffs are stupid. He's at the UFC crowd. They don't forget. They start booing. But watching Dave, like... Watching a man's ego like crumble in real time was unbelievable. First, you guys thought it was the Patty the Batty gear. Mm-hmm. Then he thought it was you. And then after that, the follow-up,
both of us,
the next rundown, he was talking about how Shannon Sharpe, he did an interview on Club Shay Shay, and it didn't get posted. It turns out that they were just waiting till like May because Dave doesn't know how people stack episodes. Yeah, Austin emailed them about something else, like, hey, whatever happened to blah, blah, blah. And they were like, and by the way, whatever happened to our episode? And he said, yeah, you're slated for May 13th or some shit. Like, we just stacked it.
Wow.
Now, whether they said, like, oh, fuck, we got caught or not, who knows? But between the booing and the perceived spiking of his interview, Dave was like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening.
The booing has been exaggerated at this point.
Dude, when we watched the clip, I thought it was like...
No.
Yeah, it was
I wouldn't have even
Yeah.
say it was... You guys, he shouldn't have said anything.
Yeah. If no one said anything, you wouldn't hear.
There was no like chatter online like, look at Dave getting booed at UFC. He's the one who started it.
It was also like prelims, like the arena was barely even there yet.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It is funny though that
but
you guys...
we did look at each other. We were like,
what the fuck was that?
Booze? Like, what was that? Yeah.
It is funny that you guys were like, well, it's the Patty the Batty gear. And then, and then Patty came out and he got like a huge ovation.
It was like
oh, it's not the
curb
Patty gear.
level, like look at each other. Like, was it us?
Do you want to talk about the Trump thing or no?
Doesn't matter. We could.
So the other big thing of the night was Trump at UFC and how, I mean, first of all, the man comes out like a fighter. Like he has a Kid Rock song, right?
American
That's like
Badass,
his.
yeah.
Is it? Oh, he just plays
does
that.
he really?
I thought it was like his song.
No,
but
no.
It's the Undertaker.
Yep.
Like okay, but he has his walkout music.
He has. I actually like the fact that like Trump does that kind of shit. Like I think the president should go to like the Super Bowl, and big games and like
totally. I was stunned when this was the first time a sitting president was at the Super Bowl this year.
that like
Really?
he goes to, like
Crazy.
the national championship. Like I think part of the presidency should be like getting like I think if he was a guy I liked, I'd really like it.
Right.
It's more like I begrudgingly tip my cap. Like that's smart.
Yeah.
UFC is very smart
plays,
to go to.
Yeah, I mean that's like
It's like a
fish in a
rally
barrel.
at this point.
Yeah. UFC.
He plays the music. He walks out of the tunnel, like down around the ring, shakes hands. Like he has a walkout.
Yeah.
You know.
I think that's cool. I think probably American Badass is kind of a weird song choice, but like,
yeah. Well, it's a Kid Rock.
In the
like,
first few times
It's-
he walked out, he's with Kid Rock.
I'll be honest, like,
Yeah.
it kind of song does kind of bang.
Oh, and the
There's a reason why
intro
on the
of
Undertaker.
it. Yeah.
American Badass.
You know what he needs to do
I
is
mean, it's fuck. Now that we're saying that, it's fucking insane. The president walks after that, but it's kind of funny.
he needs to come out on a motorcycle like fucking Undertaker.
Oh my God! Imagine that on the fucking the bandana around his head and everything. He leaves. He throws the fist up.
I'm trying to think. I suppose the golf course is, you know, he's in a polo and like slacks. I don't think I've ever seen him in anything other than in a suit and his golf attire though. Have you ever seen Trump in like
A T-shirt?
No.
jeans,
No.
a sweatsuit, nothing,
No,
right?
I don't think so.
No, you're right. I hadn't thought about that.
Imagine if he just came out in like jeans and like a graphic tee or something like that, like
See,
a
he can never do
Barstool
that.
tee or something.
Because
Like
Trump in jeans and a t-shirt looks like a sales guy upstairs.
yeah, totally.
You just-
do
you know what I
like
mean?
Trump casual clothes. Write
I feel
that
like I
in.
can
See if
picture
that
him in
happens.
jeans.
Look up like Trump in a Bussin' with the Boys T-shirt.
See, I think he would do
right?
something like that though, like something that's still like on brand for him.
There's him in
There
a
you go. There's
flannel.
some jeans.
He looks like fucking who's the guy in Home Improvement?
Al
Tim
Borland.
Allen.
Al Borland.
Yeah, there you go. Back in the 80s before he that's hilarious. Did you hear have you heard about him in Home Alone?
The director, Chris Columbus, right, is like, that's like the biggest stain on my career.
Yeah.
I wish I could take him out of the movie.
So he wanted to shoot at the plaza, and Trump extorted them and was like, "You have to put me in the movie if you want the plaza." And at the time, I don't think he loved it, but he was like, "Whatever."
Yeah.
And now he said it's like all I get asked about when it comes to Home Alone. He's like, it's a classic, but all they ask me about is Trump. And yeah, he was like, I wish I never did that.
Who watches Home Alone 2 and they're like, I just can't get over that fucking scene.
No, I don't even know if it's like
2 seconds
that.
of the movie.
I think people are just always like, well, so Trump was in it. What and he's like, fuck that.
Have you guys said what your walkout song would be? I'm sure you've covered that.
Cheeseburger in Paradise.
Yeah, that's gonna be great.
I mean, I have never even thought about like a UFC walkout. That
would
you have
a
to be like
baseball walkout
a
be
baseball
different?
walkout is a little different. You can be a little fun with it.
I think UFC, I go no music.
Oh, that'd be good.
That would be gangster.
Like
Does
a
anybody do
Tyson
that?
style. Tyson used to do it.
Oh, what's funny is I think of it Tom Hardy and Warrior.
Yeah, might have been inspired by Tyson. Yeah.
I'm like, I'd be like that actor. those fake badass guys are so cool.
What did we just say that about on television? We were talking about The Last of Us, and we said something was very. Remember, we were like, "Oh, that's from this scene," and we were like, "I'm sure that's from something like 100 years ago."
Fuck, I know exactly.
I'm sure we sounded like idiots though. We were attributing like something that I'm sure is a very common like entertainment trope to like a recent show, whatever it was. I can't remember, so it's a stupid point. But anyway, if you were at UFC, would you shake Donald Trump's hand, Feitelberg?
See, that is a great question. I sit here saying no. I think I'd probably pussy out in the moment.
Cave. So that's what Dave told Bob Fox was going to happen. Bob Fox said, "Are you cool with me not shaking his hand? Because I know you guys are boys and your reputation and all that shit." And Dave said, "You can do whatever you want, but you're going to cave." My man did not cave.
Trump walked past? I didn't see him. No, yeah. It's just, it wasn't me. I felt like it would be so, like, I mean, obviously, if you know me, you know my politics. I feel like I've spent, like, 10 years feeling one way. I could stand up and smile and, like...
Yeah.
But I also
don't
I don't want it to be a bad look for, like, Dave. So I would, if Dave would have said, like, no, I'd rather you do that, I would have done it for Dave.
Yeah.
But, like... Because Dave didn't give a fuck. I didn't give a fuck.
I don't think there's anything, like, if you were to shake his hand, I wouldn't be like, you're a fucking hypocrite.
Yeah.
I think there's, I think there's, if you're in these settings and, like, I mean, here's the thing.
I don't think not shaking his hand would have erased your beliefs. Like, people would have, but, like, I forgot what I was saying.
I think here's, I think that the way the world used to be.
What's going on with you? Sorry.
Allergies.
I was wondering.
You look like you've been like maced.
I didn't want to say anything this morning.
I'm really
His
struggling
eyes are
right now,
so
boys.
red.
Yeah,
Bro,
it's bad.
are you an allergy guy?
I'm the biggest allergy guy there is.
Apparently.
Looks like it.
And I'm like raw dogging it.
Sometimes you look bad.
I thought that
You got
because
pepper sprayed.
I've said this about Pabs before, but Pabs goes out until like 4 a.m. I don't have any fucking idea.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, he's getting older. I can tell now.
No,
it's
this
allergy.
is just me biking from East Village to here, and then I got in and I was like, this is gonna be a bad day.
You got that like Tom Coughlin shade of red.
You're Tom Coughlin Lambo.
You're taking medicine?
It's actually
if I
perfect that
take
you're on
any
the
type
show.
of allergy medicine,
You have
I'm gonna
bad
be
allergies,
sleeping.
right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you got
it
everything.
affects me
Just
like
take
that.
like Dayquil or something.
Okay.
Allegra. Okay.
That's how I tell when my mom tells me to do something like medicine. Okay.
I would say
This will go away in an hour. It's just gonna be a bad hour.
I think the most toxic masculine thing about me is like if you have like a pollen allergy, I'm like, you're a pussy.
Oh, come on.
So I said it's perfect
I
you're
got
here.
like 12 things where you could be like, you're a pussy. You're right. Allergic to all fruit, bad circulation, all fruit. It's all
What are you
out of my-
talking about?
Wait.
fruit.
You mean allergic or like it just gives you like stomach problem like or something like you
It
can't.
makes my whole mouth like real itchy. It's like just
Ugh.
not
Pineapple
worth it.
thing?
That's why I told you we went to a concert the other day. I said I'm having my one grape for the year. I usually have like one grape a year. I love grapes.
Why do you even do it? Oh, you love grapes.
Because it's like only worth it once a year. But I like to remind myself this is what a grape tastes like. And I'll usually check in with Marty. I'll text him once a year a picture. Here's my grape for the year.
You need to make that a bigger thing.
Yeah.
That needs
It's
to be like
honestly just a thing. I've never publicized
Oh my God, I
that.
would
It's
love
just
to
for me
keep
and
up with
Marty.
the
okay, that needs to be like June 1st of every year is Bob Fox Grape Day.
Well, no, I
And
already
you
had
like-
grape day.
What is it? Oh, you already had it.
The other day, we
Okay,
went
when I
out.
walked in
You're
the bar, Bob was sitting at the bar, had a cotton candy.
Wait, you
drink.
had a
Yeah.
grape at a bar?
It was like in the drink.
It was in the drink. It was a cotton candy drink, and they put cotton candy
That's
grapes
fair.
in
That's
it,
a
and I
good
was
time to
like,
risk it.
And
that
he's-
sounds fucking great.
I walked in, he's taking a picture, holding a grape, taking a picture. I was like, what are you doing? He's like, sending Marty, it's my grape of the year.
Like grape of the year.
I was like, is it
That
saying
needs
it's like
to
your
be-
best grape? He's like, no, it's the one grape I have.
And then I went back. February 24th, 2024 was the last grape I had before that.
Once a year.
Once a year.
You need to do it like Tommy did his Diet Coke in the park, like to have a crowd.
yeah.
You like drop it in. Oh, grape day!
And then 20 minutes later, I'll be like,
This
I'm
sucks.
itchy. Yeah.
Great
plan
concert,
it?
though. Shout out Knox.
Great concert.
yeah, do you plan it, or I guess the grape fell into
No,
your lap?
don't.
Like
I
you see a
completely
grape and
don't
then you
plan.
think-
I see a grape. It looks firm. It looks like it has some snap. I want that grape.
Those are good. I don't eat grapes often, but when I do, I'm always like, I gotta eat more grapes.
Yeah. Grapes are great.
Green or purple?
This one was green. Last year's was purple.
I used to
Wild and
peel
crazy
them.
man.
I used to peel them as a kid.
Yeah.
Oh, I used
Ugh.
to do that too.
Yeah, like you
Eat around it,
Eat
yeah.
around it until it's just like a flesh
Freaks.
ball.
So I also I wasn't allergic to all fruit till I was like 6 or 7 or something. So like I got a taste of everything, realized
Man.
I loved it, and then cut off.
Do you can you drink wine?
Yeah.
That's just
I don't,
different,
but
for
I
ferments
think I
and
can.
Changes, whatever.
Yeah, it's so
But
weird
also
though.
it's
Like
so weird,
some
like,
salsa will
some-
do it. Some like it's all over the place. You also, do you know how hard it is being like a 7-year-old kid telling your mom, I think I'm allergic to all fruit?
and vegetables. And,
Sure you are, pal. Yeah.
I think the only thing I can eat is cookie dough ice cream.
I was also like I would tell her like I can't shovel snow because I have really bad back problems. My mom was like, yeah, you have back problems. You're 14. I don't think so. And I made her come take me to get X-rays, and I have major back problems. And she felt
at the age
so
of like 14?
bad. Oh yeah,
Dude, I kind of
Major.
had the same thing when my back problems first started. I remember it was when I was in college, and like I was at home. I used to go back and forth at home a lot in Fordham, and I had like a paper due the next day, and I was in one of those like spasms where like I couldn't operate, you know. And I was basically like, you need to write this paper for me, like, and she was kind of like, you're faking this whole fucking thing, like, get up, like,
Yeah.
get up. You put it was like Joe Mazzulla with Tatum the other day, get up.
Yeah.
And then like we went to the doctor, and it was like, your nerves are obliterated right now.
I
And she
think
was
I
like,
got
"Ooh,
the
my bad."
Luigi shit.
The Luigi shit. Oh,
The-
yeah?
the shit Luigi had.
You
When
gonna
I,
go kill
when I read
somebody?
about Luigi, it said like spondylolisthesis, and that's like the shit I have, where like a part of the vertebrae kind of slipped out of place. So it could have been me.
All right,
I
in
got
that
a
case,
nerve. I got a-
Luigi might have overreacted.
I'm fine.
Bob's in fine.
I'm chilling, you know?
I thought Luigi had some like
Smoke
real
a
bad
joint.
shit going on.
I got a pinched nerve in my neck right now, dude. It is ruining my life.
You got that like Darth
Ruining.
Vader thing where you can't
Yeah.
turn your neck. You got to
Dude,
turn
what
the whole
what
body.
happens is, you know when you wake up and you're like, oh, I slept wrong on my neck, and you're like, Pabs, it's like, it's going to be a bad day, but like, I'll be all right.
Yeah.
That happens to me, and I'm like, the next 6 weeks are fucked.
Dude, I was thinking that this weekend in Vegas, because sleeping in a hotel bed and playing and all that.
Puerto Rico.
I was thinking it as I was watching WrestleMania, and I was like, I think their bodies probably hurt more than my body does.
Dude, I was thinking that too, just even like like just taking a bump, like
I was watching people take bumps on the concrete, on the outside, on the floor, steel
Crazy.
steps.
If I
and
were to
was
just,
like,
if
my
you, like,
neck, ugh.
if I were to just, like, stand on this little table and just like jump on the ground, it would wreck me. These guys are like flying and because so when Andrew Schultz went on Raw, he kind of like Logan like threatened to
Yeah, he
hit
got
him,
involved,
and
didn't take a bump, though.
Right, and then Burt was like, if I do it, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
And he ended up doing choke slams and not taking the bump. And I was thinking like, I would love to take a bump, but like I would. And I was trying to think of like if I could I just get like a simple like land flat on my back. And I was like, I think it would destroy
I don't
me.
think you could.
No.
Is taking a bump like a term?
Yeah,
like,
that's what they
it's
call
like
it in
getting
wrestling, taking a
thrown
fall.
around. Like
I thought you were talking about.
There's a
getting
couple of
thrown,
different
but
terms.
I was like,
Much
Jesus
different
Christ, they were just in the
conversation,
ring doing
but
that.
wrestlers do both, you know, especially in the 80s. Yeah.
I just saw how Randy Orton snuck under the ring at
Oh,
Raw.
so good,
that was
yeah.
cool. He pretended to be like a stage crew
That's
guy.
how they
yeah,
got
yeah.
The Undertaker under the ring back in the day, too.
Yeah,
Like,
but it was so funny watching him. So he's in like a black hoodie, looks like a stagehand, and he just goes over to the stairs and he's like, he's just like touching the ropes, not actually doing it, and he slipped underneath. Bob went to what? Your like 15th WrestleMania?
My 9th.
Wait, hang on. I interrupted us, unfortunately, to call out how ugly Pabs is. I feel bad about interrupting the handshake.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
So my point was going to be that it should, if the world was regular still, you can be a Republican and shake a Democrat's hand and vice versa.
Yeah.
I also
So
wasn't. I wasn't.
but it
doing the,
is
like,
different now.
I wasn't giving
Yeah,
them a fucking.
yeah.
I wasn't trying to be fuck you.
Yeah.
It was just. It's not me to do
Right.
that.
Yeah.
I was trying to just be
See,
me.
that's what my fear was. Is that like, I have to acknowledge people in the room. It's crazy to me to
Hard
not
to.
acknowledge.
And
Like,
that's what I mean. That's just like social.
like,
whatever.
I would
like,
really not want to, and I hope sitting here, I'm just gonna fuck around on my phone. But I'd be like, I don't know, if there's a person in front of me, I have to acknowledge their existence.
Yeah.
But I get
yeah.
like not wanting to feel like a fraud. Like
Yeah.
That's how
sometimes
I
I feel
felt,
like that
yeah.
with like girls who like talk shit. Like if I have a friend and they're both talking shit about each other to me, it's like the people pleaser in me wants to just be like, yeah, she sucks. Yeah,
Yeah,
she sucks.
yeah.
But then like the like if there was the fraud in me is just like it's not for them, it's for like me not feeling.
Yeah, totally. I mean,
I
get
treated
that.
the fighters that I've talked shit about the exact same way that night.
See,
Like, even if
I
they
don't-
came up to Dave, where it's like, if I'm publicly being like, "Fuck you, you're
Yeah.
a piece of shit," and then you come over, I'm not gonna shake your hand and smile and act like I'm like that's fake to me.
Well, it's also. I mean, you're talking about what's his face, right? The fucking anti-Semitic Nazi guy.
not even just the Nazi. Like there were fighters that have talked shit about Barstool that we talk shit about back. That
Okay.
they walk past.
See,
and
I think
have no
those.
interest.
My point was going to be if there was someone that we like beefed with as a blog, like whatever. I can't even think of an example now, but another radio host or something like that. And then I was to like see them at Radio Row or something. I would probably still say hello. You know what I mean?
I do that. I just give like, I mean, even here, like you've had fights with people and you walk by, you're like, "What's up, dude?"
That's what I mean.
Like we're walking by just in the hallway. It's weirder to not
There are
say
instances
hi.
where I have like personal problems with someone, and I still will shake their hand or be on a show with them or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think it's okay if you shake the president's hand too. I don't know. You know what I mean?
I think I
But-
totally think it would have like been okay. I just think it wouldn't have been me.
For you,
Right.
yeah. That's fine. That's fine. It's crazy that it's gotten to that point, but it certainly has.
I also
so.
like, all politics aside, I think it's hilarious that I shunned the president.
Well, that's pretty cool too. That's like my dad. My dad did not have sex with Sharon Stone. Yeah, it's a better story.
Yeah,
He's always like, I like to
exactly.
tell people that I turned her
Yeah.
down, rather than I did it. So yeah, you always have that one on your belt. It is. I do find it funny. I mean, most of the people that end up in these spots are either right-leaning or full-blown Republican or love Trump. So there's nothing like phony about it. But it is funny how much. I mean, people like geek out, you know. Like
yeah, I think that's
when
just weird with
Bustin's there,
politicians
Dave's
in
there,
general.
Rogan's there, like all the comics, they are all like, you know, and it's like I don't know, just
No
it's just
politician
gotten
could do
so
that for me.
right. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Whether it was Biden, him, but Obama, like I mean, I would probably shake anybody's hand, take pictures with anybody, interview anybody. That's kind of how I view it. But it would take a lot for me to like
You should
geek
get
out.
Biden
over
on
something.
Answer the Internet. Imagine that.
We could be asking him questions, you know, like, would you rather live in the 1800s? Like, well, when I did. Brunt's best-selling Marin work boots are not only built for the toughest job sites, they are completely waterproof. Whether it's rain, mud, or standing in water, your feet stay dry. I could have used these during my flooding house days. Just go down there in my Brunt boots and just sit there in 3 feet of water while I'm squeegeeing it into a sump pump. But, you know, whether you're, you know, working on an oily workshop floor or muddy farm fields or everywhere in between, the Marin 6-inch soft toe is built for workers across a variety of trades. Brunt isn't just about work boots. They offer a full range of high-performance gear built for tough jobs. You know us. We got to put our boots on when we come in to do our podcast.
Pot up, baby.
You know, get those toes going. From heavy-duty work pants.
I only podcast in steel toes.
From heavy-duty work pants to weather-resistant jackets, Brunt designs durable, reliable workwear to keep you protected and productive in any condition. Shout out to all my my you know, blue-collar workers, guys out there working on the site, working with your hands, need your boots. Go get these. These sound like they're good, and I know there's a lot of listeners out there on the site, so make sure you get yourself some Brunt. They've reinvented comfort for the hardest workers out there, and for a limited time, our listeners get $10 off at Brunt by using code KFC at checkout. Head to Brunt Workwear, that's BRUNT, workwear.com. Use code KFC, $10 off, you're all set. After your purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them, so please support us and let them know that KFC Radio sent you.
Do the Republicans claim Kanye?
No,
I don't think so.
Now I'm back out on Kanye. I don't know. We were talking about how like I was out on Kanye, then I started to view him. Actually, this is perfect for you. I viewed him as a wrestler. I was like, if you view Kanye as a wrestler and this is a character, if a wrestler came out in a black Klansman outfit, you'd be like, this is fucking crazy.
He's got to get his ass kicked.
Yeah,
that's the issue though. Is at least wrestling, he's
somebody
getting comeuppance. Yeah.
So I, then he was he was wearing the swastika shirt. He said something more ridiculous. All these things that are objectively, abhorrent, but we were just like laughing if you look at it through the lens of entertainment. And then he said he sucked his cousin's dick, and I don't know. Or maybe not. Maybe that's more funny. I don't know.
Did he tweet it or say it?
He tweeted it.
It's not a him, right?
I don't know what's going on. I think it is back to him.
I kind of think it's always been him.
If it's not him, it's crazy. This tweet is, he's like, me and my cousin.
He said he used to suck his dick till he was 14, right?
Yeah. But it was like a whole story. So like, if it's not him and it's these crypto guys, you're fucking crazy. He goes. He tweets so much that I can't even. Now that people think I'm gay, I'm allowed to say faggot. Maybe that's why he did it. He just wanted to be able to say the word.
Yeah, he's like fucking Cranston and Seinfeld.
I was told by a Jewish lawyer that I would not be able to see my kids if I was anti-Semitic, and he was right for now. He's just great. I can't even find this tweet.
By the way, my comments after UFC, everyone thinks I'm Jewish now.
Everyone
thinks I'm Jewish.
Welcome to the club.
Dave had the flag and everything. I'll tweet like, I can't wait for Andor tonight, and my comments are like, shut up, dirty Jew. I'm like, oh my God.
So I was talking about this the other day that I like don't look at my mentions or anything like that, but occasionally when you're fucking around on the bottom of Twitter, like you accidentally hit Groke or you hit one of those keys on the bottom, and I hit fucking just mentions the other day by accident, and it was like 3 tweets of like, you dumb fucking Jew. I was like, what the fuck is this all about?
Crazy.
They had the hard K's in there. It was like
hard K's.
I was like, this is just, are these, it's probably been a while. So I was like, I don't know. It's like the fucking land you don't think about. I'm like, I'm sure things are fine back there. Yeah. And then I clicked it. And it's like,
it's the Donald Glover gif when he's walking in with the pizza and everything's on fire.
That's our favorite gift reference.
Yeah. Wait, are you saying to you?
Yeah.
Oh.
It was like it was brief. It was 1 or 2 tweets, a couple of tweets, whatever it was.
Name, bro.
And it was just like there were multiple people being like, "You fucking Jew," and I was like, I don't even tweet. I don't even know what you guys are replying to.
Do you think the people think it's that you're the Ari guy?
Yanni Feitelberg.
If so, I feel like Yanni Feitelberg deserved a little grace. I feel like Yanni was kind of an asshole in that concentration camp, I'll say, but like, we've never been in that situation.
I forgot that Ari made that joke when you said Ari, and we were just talking about UFC. I said Ari Emanuel. I thought we were confusing fights with Ari Emanuel, one of the most rich people in the world.
That's Ari Emanuel. He's like
Ari Gold.
He's CMA, right?
Yeah, or WMA.
Yeah.
Oh, he's WME? No, I thought he was CAA.
He's one of those.
I think he's because he's UFC.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
We saw him at UFC. He was there.
You were saying that Dave geeked out over Cheryl, right?
He did, yeah.
The only time
Cheryl Hines walked past, yeah, he like tapped her on the shoulder. Was like, I just want to say I'm a massive fan, like absolutely love.
He doesn't do that for many people.
Yeah, and she just turned and was like, oh, thanks for saying that, and like kept walking. I don't know if she recognized him. She didn't acknowledge it, but she might have.
Where was she before Curb? Was she an actress before that? I don't know.
I'm sure she must
have been. Right? I said this the other day. I feel like I forget if I said it on the show, and where I said it, everyone actually knew the answer. Do you know how much time there was between Seinfeld and Curb?
Not that much, right? Like not as much as you would expect.
So I would say Seinfeld ended in 98, and I think
Curb. Is Curb 04 or something?
No, Curb's 99.
Curb's 99?
Seinfeld was 96, Curb's 99.
Holy shit.
You sure that Seinfeld was 96?
I'm not 100%, but pretty sure. I think it was 3 years. Curb's for sure 99.
That's bonkers. 98.
98. So
then 1 year?
So now double check Curb.
He just Googles the funniest things. Running years.
2000. October 2000.
I think that's valid.
Running years rather than like start date?
I probably would have gone that, but it worked. You know, it got us there.
I think I would have just gone the show, but I don't think that's a crazy one.
It's just always different from what I would Google.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever Googled something the same.
Dave said anyone from Curb he would geek out for like that.
Even like a side guy, like a.
I don't know. I mean, he back in the day, like David Wallace, when he did a rundown, Dave was like, "Oh my god," you know,
David
like,
Wallace, yeah.
Dude, I remember David Wallace. It was such a clear memory for me of us in the Sirius radio room doing a live radio show, and David Wallace is putting and talking.
Yes.
And he was just talking in the room, and we're like, dude, we are on Sirius radio. He wasn't talking into a microphone. He was just like, I missed that one.
I have him in my phone as Andy Buckley, David Wallace. I love that. And I'm always like, wait, which one is the name? Which one's that?
He was great.
Yeah, he was great.
While we're still on Curb, real quick, I guess this is a problem that a lot of people are having. My Curb account on Instagram is just all tits now.
Oh yeah,
like it's all just naked chicks and I'm like, I just want my fucking Curb Your Enthusiasm clips.
They just sold out to like OnlyFans chicks and stuff.
I don't know who it is, but they were just
all
saying
these meme
out there.
accounts kind of do that. Eventually, you just have like 1 million followers, so you can get, whatever doesn't matter what your little niche is. People want that exposure and they'll pay for it.
I was saying, and Keeks was like, all my gay accounts have started doing that.
Yeah,
and it's like, what kind of investment is that? Why are you gonna buy 1 million gay followers and be like, here's a bunch of tits?
Happened to my baby monkey account.
My baby, like, used to be like
just
cute monkeys.
One day I followed that. One day it was oiled up asses. I was like, what happened there? I don't recall following this account.
That's dangerous too, because it's like, I got kids now. I'd be like, oh, look at this cute monkey account.
Exactly.
And then the next day, it's fucking tits and ass.
That was this weekend. I was with my nephew at WrestleMania. There were a couple times where I'm on Twitter, literally looking up like hashtag WrestleMania, and he's over my shoulder. And I'm like, let me scroll real fast past that one because that wasn't WrestleMania.
You just can't be on the internet if you're under the age like 18.
Everywhere. It's a minefield. Yeah.
I used to have the screen protector.
Yeah.
That what was crazy? Have you seen my phone? How it's perfect?
What do you mean it's perfect?
Like the screen's not cracked.
Yeah.
It used to look shattered because my screen protector was broken. But my screen's fine.
That's funny. You just been like looking through a lens of broken shit.
Dude, I dropped I didn't drop a weight, but a weight the other day rolled onto it like so perfectly. It was a dumbbell. I had my phone on the floor at the gym, and a dumbbell like rolled onto it like that and just kind of perfectly grabbed it and slid it off. And I was like, oh, I just broke my phone. And I picked it up.
No, you fixed your phone.
I have a perfectly new phone. But the downside of that is now I don't have the privacy screen anymore, and anytime on my phone in public now it's just like scrolling Instagram. I'm sorry, so Twitter from like porn stars we've interviewed or something like that.
Yeah.
Like every time, like, never mind, sorry.
On the subway, I interviewed her.
I know her friends in real life.
I'm supporting her work.
I literally only active porn stars I follow, like actively tweeting, are ones we've interviewed.
Yeah, okay, bud.
I'm serious.
Yeah, okay.
People are gonna fucking.
We've also interviewed a lot, bro. So.
There's a lot. There also, I was thinking because like there are ones from yesteryear. Who was the one?
Yeah, only such a funny phrase. I've only followed the ones we've interviewed.
Dude, I remember doing like a blog series on a porn star where I was like making like bad PowerPoint presentations about my love for her. And like, it's honest to God, it wasn't even a porn star I really.
Mac?
No, it wasn't a porn star I even really liked. It wasn't one I like follow. Like, it wasn't like I was like, oh, that's a hot chick. It was just like, God, I forget her name. She was a bigger gal. And my God! And I had like these PowerPoints. God damn,
the YP Real Beaters era was so funny.
No, this was like Milton.
Yeah.
But like I remember living in an apartment in the south end of Boston, and I remember like my friend being like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm just working on this PowerPoint, dude."
See, I think that stuff's hilarious, and like, you reach an age where people are kind of like, "Why are you doing that or talking about it?" It's like, I don't know. I still think that's just fucking.
Yeah. God, I was 25 years old trying to woo a porn star. It was funny.
Yeah. I still find that funny. Fuck you.
I also love like people that have bits that aren't for public. Like, can you go on patthepoolboy.com. Just go patthepoolboy.com. This is a classic Beeve thing where he's the manager of Pup Punk. We just find out things about him where one day he'll just send us a link.
This is Kate's Pat.
This is Kate's Pat, the Beeve. He'll just send us a link, and he just made himself a website where it's just, if you need a pool cleaned, You get Pat the pool boy
What's
on
a
the
sheep
case.
without a shepherd?
I can't even swim. Never learned. Don't want to. My swimming is cleaning.
And this is a
pools.
bit that's just for the boys, just for the fellas. You know, he'll
Does he
send us a
actually
link.
do it, though?
No, of
No,
course not.
okay,
This is
okay.
just for, you know.
What?
This is awesome.
It's so fucking funny.
Bro,
And,
the commitment to this bit, like,
Yeah.
you have to go to, like, you know, GoDaddy or whatever, buy the domain,
he's got
go to
tons of domains.
Squarespace,
He has
set up
tons.
the fucking.
Dude, this is really fucking funny.
Yeah, it is. He was talking about this on Mook Can't Sleep recently, and I sent the link to everyone in the band. I was like, you guys got to see this shit. It's amazing.
No fixed address.
Michigan foster care. Parents deceased, siblings deceased, restrictions, pools. Yeah. Let's see. Pat took on an additional vow of celibacy as a proverbial consummation of the marriage over the last 15. This is ridiculous.
This is
Ridiculous. But the
really,
beef is
really
just
funny.
the best, and it's people like this that come into our lives at Barstool where it's like, yeah, he's one of one. We'll never meet another
Yeah,
beef.
totally. There's so many of those that you know you can't take them for granted. You know,
No.
there's plenty of people here like that are probably a dime a dozen. You know, you could probably find 1 million of me, 1 million of this, 1 million of that. But then there are people. It's like there is not one person on the planet Earth like you.
No,
That's
I mean, this
fucking-
guy's got the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise in his hands, basically. Like, Pat the pool
I
boy.
remember finding that out, being like, "Oh, you're gonna be a billionaire."
and he still might be.
I mean, yeah. That
Let's
one,
hope.
that one that came
Fingers
out on Netflix
crossed.
wasn't quite it, but I thought that was gonna be the one that like sends it to the moon.
If he becomes a billionaire, Pup Punk shows are going to start looking like Kiss shows quickly. Quickly. He will put that money back into the shows for us. I know for a fact.
Today's episode is brought to you by Trees. Did you know that Fast Growing Trees is America's largest online nursery? I'm sure you didn't know that. Imagine if there's listeners who are like, I knew that. Yeah. Thousands of different plants and trees grow tough on American soil by American farmers, and they now have over 2 million happy customers. Look at that, Ron Burgundy question mark. 2 million customers? They have all the plants your yard needs, like fruit trees, privacy trees, flowering trees, shrubs, and so much more. I actually need these. I know they had talked about sending some, Pabs. I definitely need some. When I made the video the other day for the Bronco, my lawn is like in rough shape. And I had so much work done on it, and I haven't been taking care of it, like all this construction happening, so my lawn looks like...
There's so much to think about now.
Oh my god! Well, somebody was like talking shit. You know, your lawn is despicable, and I was like, well, I was working on the pool and the tennis court, guys. So the lawn's next. But I could use some trees. I definitely need some green up in there. We gotta fix the lawn. So I'm gonna get on it. You should too. And Fast Growing Trees has got you covered. Find the perfect fit for your climate and space, and it's easy to get your dream yard. Order online, get your plants delivered directly to your door in just a few days, and you never have to leave your home. This spring, they have the best deals for your yard, up to half off on select plants and other deals. And listeners of our show get 15% off when you purchase using code KFC at checkout. That's 15% off at fastgrowingtrees.com. Promo code KFC. Now is the perfect time to plant. Offers valid for a limited time. Terms and conditions apply. Fast Growing Trees proudly supports American farmers. All plants and trees are grown tough on American soil by American farmers. Check out the link below and go to fastgrowingtrees.com. Promo code KFC. What else is cooking? So what's the latest with Pup Punk? You guys have any shows coming up?
Babies, so no.
Oh, right.
But
Paternity.
we'll do shows for sure. Like, we're going to do another tour like we did last year, this year. So probably like fall college towns, probably.
To me, Pup Punk's one of my favorite things that ever developed at Barstool.
Yeah.
It's just
I
so
remember.
cool.
I forget if it was your first ever show. I don't think it was, but the Super Bowl in Georgia.
Oh, no, it wasn't our first, but it was like our third or something.
Yeah, it was early, and I remember being there and being like, "This
This is
is
legit.
so fucking cool that I'm like even part of this company." Like that night was like one of like the coolest things. I was like, "This
That
is
was a really fun
fucking
night.
so sick."
That was the night that I got accused of pissing the bed at the house.
Oh, really?
It was not me. But listen, I was a little tipsy, and I'm not a big drinker. So that night I was drinking and woke up at the Barstool house. I called an Uber back to my hotel because I wasn't staying at the house. And I remember it was like my first real hangover. And my driver was trying to like give me a tour of Atlanta. He's like, "You want me to show you Al Capone's old house?" And I was like, "No, I don't want to see it." And I got a call from YP on that Uber. He's like, "Bro, did you piss the bed last night?" And I was like, "I don't think so." I was like, "I'm not wet at all, so if I did,
It's physically impossible. Like
I got up, unzipped, and I pissed on it.
Peed in the
so
bed.
I was like, I don't think so. And thank God it was not me.
Who was it?
Someone with the last name Feitelberg. Yeah, he's not in this room.
Oh, his brother? Yeah. I mean, it runs in the family.
And I believe it was confirmed by your dad. The story was like he came down and he was like, "Oh no, it's my son."
Bro, I'll never forget when Feitelberg like probably first met my friends in New York early on, and like I had just found out that he's just a chronic bed pisser, and I remember saying like, for real, like how many beds do you think you pissed? And he goes, "How many do you think I've slept in?"
It really, honestly, like looking back, I was never that bad. Like I wasn't a bedwetter, but I have wet beds before.
Yeah,
but like
but to me, it's kind of a binary thing. It's pretty. I feel like you either do it or you don't.
Yeah.
It was.
There's not many people who have like I've peed once.
My early to mid 20s. Again, it wasn't crazy, but we were over 10.
That's a lot. That's way more than average, I think.
That's what I mean. Actually, I don't. We were around 10. But I'll give it 8 to 12.
Yeah, I'm not a bed.
No, really.
Have you ever peed like
no,
in, like the closet?
What?
Like
I was not a. I didn't get up.
Like pissed in, like they think they're in the bathroom and they're thinking
no,
but
toilet that's how the Gallagher brother feud started in Oasis. when they were like, I don't know, 16, Liam came home super drunk and pissed on Noel's new boombox. Ever since then, it's been fucking
16.
button heads.
So what they still went on to like do.
Yeah, Oasis hadn't even started at that point.
That's great.
But they started the band, and they'll still attribute it back to that.
They're like Kane and Undertaker in real life.
Oh yeah,
like they need to have like an MMA match, like, just like winner.
No. We got 72 days till the reunion. We need to keep them apart till then. Bubble wrap them.
Is that going to be your like best moment? You think?
Maybe yeah, ever.
Yeah, like
me and Nate traveling the world together, going to Cardiff, Wales.
Like what else? I think this is it for you.
This is it. It's when they got back together.
When like McGregor was not a fucking rapist and like winning the title and talking to you. That was pretty cool.
We didn't even have to go there. Like, like if McGregor like beat Khabib in 2 seconds and then went on to be like the most monogamous man of all time, like maybe. But
the most monogamous, the MMM dude. Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for in an idol. But when they got back together. Like, my fiance looked at me, like, so genuinely was like, I think this is what you've wanted more than anything in the world since I've known you. Yeah. And I'm like, it literally is. And then the fact that I was able to get a ticket is insane to the first show.
I know. Wasn't that also, didn't Nate, like...
It was complete, like, coincidence because we were on tour with Pup Punk. We had just gotten to Philly. It was 1 in the morning, and I had to, like, stay up till 4 in the morning to make sure I got in the queue or whatever. I get in the queue. Nate gets in the queue at the same time. He's like 500,000th or he was over 120,000 in line. Mm-hmm. I was 500.
Wow.
Like 511 or something. So I'm like, holy fuck. I'm like, I'm going to get it. Like, I'm definitely going to get tickets. What a moment. Take my phone out and I'm like, this is content. Let me film me getting tickets. As soon as I press film, kicks me off my mobile hotspot, kicks me out of Ticketmaster. And I was like, oh my God, I just ruined it. Refresh the page. Thank God it's still on there. I try to buy 4 tickets because I'm like, that's the most you could buy. I'm sure I'll be able to find people to get the tickets too, whatever. My credit card declined because I'm trying to spend 800 euros in the middle of the night while I'm in Philly. So I had to do it like 10 times, and the last time that it could have possibly worked, I had like 3 seconds left on the countdown. It went through.
You must have been so wet.
I was and I texted Nate, like, we knew, like, all right, if you get tickets, one of them is mine. If I get tickets, one of them is yours. I texted him, like, I'm 511, we're getting them. And then he did not get a text for the next couple minutes, and he said he was just panicked.
Yeah.
So the fact that we got, and then the next night in Philly, we did Don't Look Back in Anger. The whole crowd was going nuts. Like, it was like a moment. So I can't wait for that.
That you guys had that for Oasis, and then you told him to go to the game for Ovi. You predicted
that was one of the greatest predictions of all time.
Yeah. You were like April 3rd or whatever. He's going to break the record.
Texted him in February.
Dude,
you're going to those games.
I went to one of the games. I went to the game with him, and I was like, "How'd you get these seats?" He's like, "Bob told me 2 months ago."
Like, you guys got a little connection right now.
They're so good at like when I go to a game, I'm like, I just want to be in the building. I'll go wherever. I don't care. But Nate is like thoughtful, and he had we were right on the dot on like Ovi's dot where he'd be for 2 periods. And I was like, how did you get these seats? Like, these have to be like the most sought after seats. And he's like, yeah, Bob texted me.
Bob Fox and
I
Game
saw
Time.
a tweet about it from a Caps fan in February that was like, I hope Ovi does it when they're coming to New York. And I looked at when they were coming to New York and like did quick
many
math. And I
goals,
couldn't literally
Yeah.
figure it out. But I texted Nate that moment and I was like, you should probably buy those tickets now.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's that's great.
What concert for you guys would be like? Is there something that would be like Oasis level for you? Frank Ocean for Pavs.
Frank Ocean for sure.
I would probably also say.
You're a Frank Ocean too.
Yeah.
Frank Ocean is your answer?
I've said this. Yeah.
Does he
Really?
not
I didn't know
tour?
that.
I thought he tours.
He, like,
Frank
doesn't-
Ocean did like one show in the last 9
I hate
years.
Frank
Damn.
Ocean.
I didn't realize
He's
that.
so
Yeah.
fucking dramatic.
Didn't he do
I
Coachella?
hate these people. It's
he
like,
did
do
Coachella,
your
right?
fucking...
Undeniably
Years
good,
ago,
but,
yeah.
I
like,
know,
don't
but
like-
like I
yeah.
hate these people. It's like,
It's
well,
such
whatever.
a-
Do whatever you want in your life. I don't care. But it's like, make an album. Go on tour. Do it. Like, you get everyone's hopes up and they love you and then you just never give them anything again.
He's like
So-
he's the opposite Kanye. I think of him like a wrestler. He's the baby face.
Yeah, that's true.
allure to Frank Ocean is so big, and people want to see him so bad that Tyler Creator, like 3 years ago, teased that there's a special guest coming
Right.
to his
It was
festival.
Drake, right?
And it was Drake, and Drake got booed
People
so
are like,
Oh, I
you
remember
suck.
that.
Our
He-
special guest is the
Drake.
biggest artist in the world. Fuck that.
Yeah.
I want this little niche R&B guy who put out one album 25 years ago. Fuck
I'll
that.
never-
I can't think of who it would be for me. I mean,
Mine would have been Blink, but that just happened last year or a couple years ago.
That was awesome. And that was kind of mine for a long time. I had tickets to see Blink 5 separate times, and all 5 shows were either canceled or I couldn't go for some reason.
Wow.
Like I had
That's
5
crazy.
tickets.
5
That's a
separate
lot.
times?
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
One of which was like a Brooklyn show 100 cap. They were playing their top
100
9 songs.
cap?
It was like something like that on Spotify. It was like a Spotify invited event. And someone I know got invited. I said, you could be my +1. An hour before the show, they got sick, and they were like, sorry, I can't go, and I can't transfer the ticket. And I was like,
Oh,
what do you mean?
That's-
But it all worked out in the end because that would have been with Skibba. So, like, I got to see him
yeah,
with
yeah.
Tom. Like,
Nice.
The reunion was the way to see them for the first time.
That's very I didn't realize it was
how
Skipper.
much
That's cool.
money do you think like those guys make now?
Blink-182,
Yeah, or anybody.
they got paid a fuck ton to get back together from Live
Did they?
Nation.
Yeah.
Like,
Did-
they were getting back together, but Live Nation was like, all right, we're going to give you
So
like,
you're not even, we're not
boatloads
even
of
talking
money.
about album sales or anything when it comes to those things. It's all just touring.
Yeah.
And they're just like, we want to do like 20 cities with you. So here's what, like, how much? What do you think?
30 million each, maybe.
Oh wow, that is big
If I
money.
had to
Okay.
guess.
Did you say 30?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would guess it was
It's
like
just
$100 million
crazy, like-
tour.
Yeah.
And it was like 100 dates. It was like a crazy
Oh,
amount
okay,
of
so they got their
dates.
money's worth.
Dude,
it's
I remember the
there's so much money out there.
when we saw him at City, and they were just about to put out the deluxe album of their album that's currently out there, like reunion album or whatever. And Mark was like trying to sell it, where he's like, it's gonna have like 3 new tracks, and it's like, and then Tom just goes, it's a money grab. And I was like, okay, fuck it. Now
But
I'll
you
buy
earned it.
Now
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
buy it.
Yeah. There's just so much money out there for like these like legacy acts in music and like especially music. Like I feel like now, with the exception of like the mega big people, it's really like time to be, the people thriving the most are from the 90s and like early 2000s.
Yeah. It is crazy.
That's why I've said this a million times, but I really believe there was something to like the music. It's not just like old man or I don't like the new stuff. There's a reason why all these new acts cancel their tours. Why all the old acts are back out there.
I agree, but it's also like that. I think that's the way it's been historically. Like I think we've said this before. Like we're like the group that has the money, which now is supposed to be millennials, is who like big acts are for. Like when I was a kid, my dad would go see the Rolling Stones, but it was the 90s. But like the Rolling Stones would be doing TV Garden and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's always legacy acts for sure. I just feel like it's usually coupled with like the current acts are out there fucking crushing.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that. I mean, at least in the rap world, that's the case. Like
I was
I'm
gonna
sure
say,
everywhere
I don't
else.
know if this is just like a rock and roll bias thing, but I feel like bands were also such a like. I'm more inclined to become a fan of a band than a single artist, and I don't know if everyone's like that. Probably not, because nowadays most artists are just solo.
Well, I'll
artists,
tell you
but-
what's crazy is starting a band rather than being a single artist.
I know it is, but it's
I
like
mean, just the thought though of being like,
having,
we're gonna
like,
go on tour and I have to split this 5 ways.
having like multiple personalities
crazy.
in the band and the dynamic to like be a fan of it and look through the evolution of a band.
Yeah,
like
I'm
that's
with you
way
on that.
more interesting to me.
I'm with you. I'm just saying from
I
a
feel
business
like,
point of view though.
I
It's
feel like that could be part of the reason why people are gravitating more towards bands and not like solo artists. But I don't know.
It's just everything else is going to be equal except for how much money goes into your pocket at the end of the day, right? Unless you can really somehow show that like the 4 of us, 5 of us together makes more money. But
Yeah.
I mean, I remember Hootie, Darius Rucker talking about getting back together with Hootie, and he was kind of like, "I'm taking a pay cut for this, fellas."
Yeah.
So,
But like also like for a reunion type deal, it's like I would imagine Darius Rucker's like, I have so
He's
much
not
money.
doing this for the money.
I just
Yeah.
want to hang out with the boys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know?
and
Like-
change up the set list. You know, he probably did his Darius Rucker country set list for 6 years in a row,
Right.
and was like, "All right, I want to fucking sing all those Hootie songs again, and I want to do covers again."
It's like if you had as much money as Darius Rucker had, which is probably a couple $100 million, maybe a little
Infinite
less.
money.
Yeah, like it is more money than he'll ever spend in his life. And then you were like, "What do you really want to do right now?" He's like, "I honestly just want to hang out with my friends."
Yeah.
No
And then they're
way
like,
that's true. No way that's true.
No,
But the fact that that's
Cracked
that
review
lets me
gave him more
think
than
though
that
that
alone.
it's not close to what we thought. Like,
No,
those aren't
I mean,
true, but
there's
like
no way it's $12 million.
I
don't
think
know, though,
Darius
man.
is worth at least $100 million.
you would think.
Hootie
but
was one of the
I mean,
biggest bands of the
artists,
90s.
but
Well,
they
I mean, Darius Rucker
notoriously
said-
get fucked, man.
He said that his price to do a wedding is $1 million. I don't think it's 1/10 of his net worth.
Yeah, I'm just it's
But-
very
but-
interesting to like.
My point is, even if you
numbers-
had $12 million and it's like, what do you want to do this year? It's like, I don't know. I kind of want to hang out with my
with the
friends.
boys,
Like,
yeah,
it's
but-
like, well, guess what? You could do that, and we'll give you $2 million or $5 million, whatever it is. You go, all
And
right,
also,
fuck it.
I'm sure Darius probably could sell out arenas, but I know for a fact, as Darius, he's selling out amphitheaters. Hootie gets back together, they play the Garden right away.
Right, right.
So it's like that could also be fun. Let's change it up and start playing arenas again. Mm-hmm. I saw them on that reunion tour. It was the Bare Naked Ladies and
Hell
Hootie and the
yeah.
Blowfish.
Let's
Just
fucking
90. I
go.
took my mom. We were fucking raging.
Like who is that? Who is like that right now? I just don't. I'm sure there's some band that's But to me, like, I mean, Hootie was fucking insane. That album has like 4 or 5
Insane.
like
That
diamond
story
singles
of
that are-
how they like got so popular is
Yeah.
still
the Letterman
so
story.
crazy to me.
Yeah.
kinda like-
Do you know that story about?
Going around colleges where they doing?
No. He was Letterman. Like they got on the radio, and Letterman was in his car and like heard the song, but there was something about like he was about to go through a tunnel or had gone through a tunnel and lost reception.
Yeah.
But like was able to just hear like a snippet of "Hold My Hand" or "Only Want to Be with You" or whatever it was, and it was enough for him to be like, "Get these guys, book them on the show." And he did that, and he said like they did the show on a Monday, and by Thursday we sold out. Like
It was he heard him on Monday. They booked him for Friday or Thursday if they don't do a Friday show. They were the biggest act in the world on Monday.
That's fucking crazy. It's so awesome.
It's so weird in a way that
And it was on a radio station that does not play that genre of music. It wasn't Letterman driving. It was Letterman was in his car and had a driver.
Got it.
And they were listening to some station that does not play Hootie music. The DJ just happened to like it, so he's like, "We don't really play this, but like this song fucking rocks. I'm putting it on." Letterman heard.
That's
it,
like a scene in a movie.
Yeah.
You know, that's like that thing you do when
Yes,
they hear
I was
their
just gonna
song
say
on the
that.
radio
We're
for
on
the
the
first time.
radio.
Oh
Yeah.
my
He
god, that
said-
scene's incredible.
Darius had said that they were making good money. Like he said, they were touring the East Coast. They were probably making $75,000 a year at the time, which in the '90s, shitload of money.
Yeah.
And he's like, I was perfectly happy. Like I didn't need to get to the next level. He's like, but like it happened like that. Like in one.
It's so interesting that like there's probably less barriers of entry than ever now. You don't necessarily need a label. You don't need all these things. However, so it's easier to get in, but I think it's easier to pop back then because it was like if you get on if you're a comic and you do a Letterman set, like your career's
Things
you're
are more
set.
streamlined.
Now.
Yeah.
Like you can do those things now, and it's like
yeah,
know.
you could do
For some
SNL
reason-
and people might not see
right,
it. Yeah.
right.
I keep thinking about how inspiring the Blue Man Group is. Like
The Blue Man Group. I had to explain the Blue Man Group to my nephew this
I had to
weekend in
explain it
Vegas.
to somebody the other day too.
Yeah.
Like people don't know about the Blue Man Group.
this today, Jack.
No, right, yeah,
Wow.
it's in East Village, right?
Dude,
Like,
they make bank. We
Well,
looked
there's
this up last episode.
10,000 of them, I think. Like the Blue Man Group is like there's 10,000. There's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
dozen
yeah,
Blue
yeah.
Man Groups in the world. It's a franchise.
Yeah.
but I think there's like certain.
But I think like the
founders.
creators are like.
Like,
Oh,
I think
sure,
like
yeah,
they started. It's kind of like
The
how you
original
can,
Blue
like,
Men.
Start your own like Chick-fil-A. I think it's like you can technically start.
We
your
were
own.
talking about like
Yeah,
the
you franchise.
early days of Blue Man Group. when like you get off stage, you just perform for 12 people. You're covered in like lead paint. You're like, guys, I don't think it's working. I'm going back to Deloitte. All right? Like, no, this is stupid. And there's some guy like, stick with it, man. I think one day we're going to be worth $100 million. Like, yeah, okay. Look
Doesn't
at us.
all come off. You're just like looking like a Smurf
Yeah,
on the
it's
subway.
straight Tobias Fugue.
Are they staying the next day? I really like need to know.
I bet they have it figured out by now,
That's
right?
what
But
I-
They have
early
to.
on,
That's
I
what
bet it
everyone
was
keeps
like
saying.
you go home with some chick, you got blue all over the place.
Yeah, I don't know. I also I read an article. I'm realizing I didn't like finish the article, but it makes me think like in terms of music, and I wish I had finished it. But it was something about how like Christian music and lo-fi music are the two genres that people don't need a face to the name, or like they don't need to like kind of what you were saying about how you like bands more than single artists, because I like they don't.
What's lo-fi?
It's just like
It's like
beats, like
calm, like almost like
Enya?
relaxing type music, like relaxing beats.
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
People like study to it.
That's like what you listen to when you're editing that in the Indian music.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't like. I just thought it was interesting because it's
Yeah,
like
'cause I
they're
think this-
booming
the
and they can't figure
genre-
it out because it's like it's the first time that people don't care about like the storyline, and it's almost like, oh, so maybe AI artists will be a thing if we could.
For those things, for sure.
You know?
I mean, like I think people like Christian rock because it's like
Yeah, it's just
the
like
religion.
About the,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so if that's
They
AI, but
Christian
it's-
rock, they do know like who it is. It's Jesus, right? Like they
Yeah,
they
yeah.
have someone to picture.
Right, right, right.
That's true.
And the lo-fi shit is like I'm listening to this while I study, so I wouldn't care if that's a person or AI.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
elevator
makes
music almost.
sense, exactly. But it's just interesting. What?
Is that an
Dude.
audiobook start playing?
No, I have like sometimes this thing pops on like the.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen Thronglets on Black Mirror?
No.
Bro, this is
No.
one of the most brilliant things I've ever seen. The number one thing your mom wants for you is to call her. This Mother's Day, you can give her that gift, of course, and give her an Aura digital picture frame. If you've got kids, the best way to keep grandma and grandpa happy is give them a digital Aura frame. You set them up with a frame. You link up your phone and I think like some clouds, and every time you take a picture of the kids, they can upload directly to this Aura frame. So, you don't have to send out a Christmas card. You don't have to hear, I don't see the kids enough. Get the frame, set it up, and it just loads in a slideshow, all new pictures all the time. It was voted best digital frame by Wirecutter, and it's featured in 495 gift guides last year. So next time you need to call your mom, you can also send her a new picture of you, the kids, that trip you went on, everything they want to see and hear about, all right from your phone, right to their Aura frame. They got a great deal for Mother's Day right now. For a limited time, you can save up to $35 off plus free shipping on their best-selling Carver matte frame. So get the Carver matte frame digital frame, use promo code KFC at checkout and get $35 off. That's Aura Frames, AURA frames.com. Promo code KFC, $35 off plus free shipping on the Carver matte frame. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. The episode is fine. Episode is traditional like Black Mirror. The idea is this guy created, it's our boy Will Poulter.
Yeah.
He creates a video game that is the first ever. He said these are like living beings. They're completely digital though, and they're these little like yellow. They're called Thronglets. There's like little creatures, and the idea is like they're alive, right? And in the Black Mirror show, they like take over this guy's brain, and all this crazy shit happens. I won't spoil that, but the show's whatever. But the game is called Thronglets, and they created at the very end during the credits a QR code pops up, and I was like, "What's that?" And they created a game. And I went and played it, and it's fucking addicting. It's like a little bit of SimCity, a little bit of Lemmings. You have these little creatures. You have to feed them. It's like Tamagotchi kind of.
Yeah.
You have to feed them, keep them entertained, and clean them. And then you have to like build a bridge. You cut down trees, and they have to like. And I mean, I went down a hole. I blinked, and it was. I put on a screen record. I was like, let me record myself playing this for like a tweet. And I forgot that I was screen recording, and when I got a phone call, talked to Shay, go back. The screen recording was 45 minutes long. This is it. You play with these little creatures. You feed them apples, you throw them beach balls, and you scrub them up, and then you have to build a bridge by cutting down trees. But then you find out that bones are better than trees. So if you kill them, You get their bones and you build the bridge faster,
start
but they get
killing 'em?
mad at you. You kill them. But then if you're like, I'm gonna be nice and I don't kill them, they get overpopulated and more of them die. It's like this
my
whole thing.
God.
You gotta hunt.
But it's like
I'm
this.
actually an environmental conservative or conservationist.
But bro, I couldn't. I mean, it was.
Someone's gonna
brilliant.
clip this segment and they're gonna insert the Dave clip from the rundown the other day where he goes, "You got a lot of time in your hands, huh?"
Did you see, bro? I couldn't win. You can't win. I was talking about video game, like The Last of Us, and like the TV show and the video game, and then I was talking about WrestleMania, and he was like, boy, like you watching all this shit and like playing. It's like that's what we do, dude. Like you're watching the TV show too,
And it was right
talking
after
about-
you told them, you're like, "I don't watch wrestling every week, but I'll pay attention to what storylines are going on." He's like, "You're watching wrestling every week."
like wrestling and video games. Wow, I understand what he's talking about. They're inherently nerdy, basement boy shit.
Yeah.
It's like absolutely our
But
demographic.
also, like, there's always been like a part of KFC Radio that's been inherently nerdy.
I know that actually let me know, and this is not a surprise, but I was like, this man knows nothing about me. He was like, you like video games and wrestling? I was like, they're my two favorite things ever.
Yeah, you're like, let me show you my tattoos I got last week. Yeah.
It's like
Hi,
that's like
Dave,
being
I'm
like,
Kevin.
you like the
Nice
Mets?
to meet you.
You're a Mets fan? Wow, loser. Yeah, bro.
I watched Black Mirror the other night. I just did the first episode.
I did too.
I didn't care for it.
Which one was that one?
Rashida Jones.
Yeah.
And
They're to me they're very it's like the Twilight Zone. Like I put them on
Yeah.
when I'm like if I there's no movie I want to watch and I'm not gonna like I've watched all the new episodes of the shows that I'm really watching. If I want to be on my phone, like it's just kind of like I put it on and
I
it just
thought
gives
people
me
talked about it like fucking. I after watching the first episode, I was like, I think I'm putting Black Mirror in the same box I put Nathan Fielder in, where people say it's fucking genius. And
I
then
think
you
it
watch
was.
It.
The
It was,
original
yes,
season,
Yes,
yeah.
probably.
I think it was.
But I thought people were saying that
and-
again about this season.
I certainly wouldn't. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
There-
always all of them are far fetched and silly now. There's always one theme, question, kernel of truth, or something that makes me like that. That's thought provoking.
Yeah.
Like, what if the world went down that road?
Yeah.
Or what if you could gaslight someone in real life? Like I don't know, some just far fetched shit. But it's not like it's not what it once was. I think they ran through all the plausible ideas that
Yeah.
are kind of cool.
In
and
the
now we're
first
talking
episode, I was
silly.
like, they're doing way too much. Where the first episode was like, here's our commentary on pharmaceutical sales, the medical industry,
Ads.
OnlyFans,
Yeah, subscriptions, all that shit,
it was like, and also the subscription was like, and it's on Netflix.
yeah.
Upgrade to
Right.
premium. Yeah, right after that episode.
I want you to watch the gaslighting one is fucking preposterous. It's like
How's the Star Trek one? Because I like the original USS Callister.
oh I didn't know that I haven't gone through them all yet. So,
So
there's
they did
another
a sequel to that, which
Oh,
is apparently 90 minutes, and they said they made like a movie. And
Yeah, see, I like
Kristen
those.
Milioti from The Penguin.
Yeah, I liked
Oh.
Callister too. Callister was good. That's
yeah
with,
that
fucking
was
Jesse
good.
Plemons.
I liked
Yes.
the there was another space one with Aaron Paul.
Yes,
Yeah, that was
with
good.
Josh
With Josh
Hartnett.
Hartnett.
Yeah, that's like a little mini movie too.
That
That
was
was like
good.
an hour
Yeah, that
and
was like
15.
last.
That was
That
my
was the only
favorite
one I
one
liked from last
season.
season.
Yeah, they always have one that I think is good.
that's
The rest
true.
are kind of like
I
whatever.
think I misunderstood. I thought
I'm sure
you
there are
guys had
people out
said-
there who
I thought
think-
Pavs included had said that one was like really good.
I just watched Shutter Island last night for the first time ever.
What do we
Oh,
think?
good one.
So crazy. I did not see it coming at
good.
all.
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't. And I thought it was about, for some reason, like an island of celebrities that looked like other people. And then like I just like had it all
Is that a
wrong.
little
Before
Blink
you watched
twice?
the movie or mid movie?
Like mid movie, I was like, all right, where did the celebrities come in? It is an entertainment.
that's a great one.
What
That's one that
inspired this?
I was just like I was with my family this week, and I was like, oh, I'm like been too scared to watch Shutter Island alone, but like I want to watch it. And my sister was just like, well, let's watch it, like because it's so up my alley. But I have
It's
such
one of
a
his
fear
best.
of like being crazy that I think I'm officially off the hook for schizophrenia. By the way,
you're not.
Oh, that's
schizophrenic.
good.
I'm not schizophrenic.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, nice. I didn't
asked
realize
if
that
No,
they-
you
was,
were stressed about that. I
something
could
we
have
were
told you
talking
that.
about.
Johnny's actually brought this up a lot.
I could have told you you're
Pabs is
definitely,
my, like-
definitively not schizophrenic.
Oh
have
no,
a
no,
pact.
I don't think that's definitive. I've asked Pat to like keep check on me because like sometimes I just like
Really?
feel like
Like,
I'm fully in charge if I have to send her to an institution. Yeah.
You're Jackie's power of attorney.
We spend 8 hours sitting next to each other every day. I do a little check.
What makes you think? And were you ever like, it's long?
There's been times.
I
mean, schizophrenia is like you know the craziest you can be. What are you talking about?
Well, I have like okay, so I realize that this is like normal, but I'll definitely have periods of being like kind of out of body, like this isn't real, and like I kind of freak out.
Well, yeah, we know she's a simulation and shit.
But like it gets a little. And then there was just definitely a period. So I was on Lexapro before, like anxiety medication, and then like I cut it off cold turkey, and like you're not supposed to do that. I went really crazy, guys. Like, I kind of kept it like. I
was gonna say you've never, you've just been the same old idiot here.
Well, I remember when I was kind of like crying. There was just a period where I was like also like crashing out and like going through like a thing, but like. During that period, I definitely was like kind of keeping it in check up here, and I thought that I was, and then I was having like brain zaps, and I didn't realize that it was like when you.
What's a brain zap?
So when you cut off like Lexapro or like anxiety medication, you like literally see electricity and hear electricity in your head, and it's really crazy. And I didn't know that was a thing, so I was like, oh my god, it's starting.
How long is it? When will give me the time
I
frame?
Think now I sound crazy too.
From this, when was this happening?
Yeah, maybe now I'm back on schizophrenia.
It's past job now.
That shit on speed dial.
What was it?
What period was this happening?
A year.
I remember coming into the studio every now and then. You had been crying.
Yeah.
I just thought that was like girl shit,
well, that
like boy
was,
shit.
Like, but I think that it was good. Like I got stuff down that I needed to get done, but I think it was largely because I cut off.
Yeah.
But I needed a little bit of insanity to like unhingedness.
Get you going.
You gotta make a mess before you clean up.
Exactly.
Make a mess before
Anyways,
you clean up.
I don't know.
But Shutter Island, great movie.
I was talking, Shutter Island.
I feel like Shutter Island is the movie that people are like it's like underrated, but it's not because we all say that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's not mentioned with The Aviator and The Departed and all these other ones, but it's like you are. We're always saying that.
Right.
So we're mentioning it with it. You know?
Are you the one that has the tweet about Shutter Island about the towel, about the way Leo wears his towel?
I don't know. I do get mad about how people wear the towels.
So funny. Wears it right
Wears
over
it too
the
high?
hips.
Yeah, that's a gas special.
No, Lou's the high guy.
I thought it was gas.
Lou rocks it up around his sternum. I'm like, what are you doing, dude?
Gotta cover your nips up like a girl.
Yeah, no, I get very towel judgy.
I feel like it might have been an old tweet of yours in the past because ever since I saw the tweet of the towel up to his nips, I've never been able to unsee it.
That's a crazy move for it. There you go. There it is. I'm watching Shutter Island and...
Is this it?
No. That's a Jackie tweet, yeah.
By
the way...
but he had a towel.
But that's
Bill's isn't too high.
Over the belly
mine
button's
sits
high.
on my hips.
Above the belly button
yeah,
is too high. Anything above the belly button is too high.
But like Lou would be up here, dude. And by the way, speaking of Lou,
dress.
I texted him because in that not Shutter Island, in that Black Mirror episode, he invented that.
Which one?
The Dum Dummies.
The what?
Dum Dummies.
For the streaming website that the husband goes on.
What Chris O'Dowd is doing.
Wait,
where he starts drinking piss? Remember in the first episode?
Oh, yeah, yes. I remember that. Where it was like, I'll do it for $10. I'll do it for $20.
No, it was for followers.
Yes. What would you do or something like that?
I forget. I texted him. He couldn't remember the name either. But I was like,
he just keeps pulling up tweets about it.
I said it. Towels bother me, bro.
These towels right here. It's right. Those towels just move the water around.
His entire brand is towels. Yo, can I tell you something? I hate my towels. Literally this morning in my apartment, I was like, I hate these fucking towels.
Those towels just move your water around.
You're a towel Nazi.
Look, here's the deal. I've been talking on the internet for 15 years. I mentioned towels a couple times.
Dude, I want a towel that's like a rag, basically. You know what I mean? Like those sop up the water.
Soak it up.
The soft ones is just you're just moving it around.
Yeah, there are two kinds of towels in this world: towels that dry you and towels that don't dry you.
Yeah, and the soft towels are like it's like a robe almost. It's like maybe it feels nice around you, but
when you put the robe on and you can feel yourself like the wet bouncing on you again.
No.
There are towels like that.
Yeah.
Those are such kinds of towels.
Don't you feel as though if you only put it around your hips that like doesn't it? What's the point of not drying your top half?
No, you
dry,
dry.
and then I put it on.
Done,
Then you put it
like,
on.
before you put clothes on. You're not naked. Walking around naked. It's like you're brushing your teeth or doing other shit at the sink. You just put it around your waist.
Okay.
You guys put it around like your chest.
Yeah.
But like that would actually be really funny if girls just did the waist too and there's no tits out. That would be really funny. It's like I'm already dry. I'm just
No, I dry my
tits
titties.
out. There's probably so many movies. You guys, we could probably make such a great list of movies they need to watch.
Oh, yeah.
You know, maybe not him. He's a nerd, but maybe you. Yeah.
I'm missing a lot
There's
for
so
sure.
much stuff from that era. I saw, you know, these.
We're getting Pavs on Fast 5 this week.
Yeah.
I saw somebody breaking down the time period between Wonder Years. Wonder Years is set in like the 50s and made in the 80s or 60s and 80s, and Happy Days, same sort of thing. And you think of that as like it was harkening back to such an old time. It would be like a show now set in 2005.
That's crazy.
Like imagine if you were like, time to do this period piece where we're gonna dress and talk and
That
act
70s
like
show,
they
right,
did
in the 90s?
2005.
Yeah. That's fucked.
Again, though, I do feel like something happened. Maybe it hit like an internet revolution, or like things have changed, but they haven't changed that much. I don't think. I think if you did something in 2005, you'd be like, oh, I remember those songs. I remember like those clothes, but like inherently everything is still in the same ballpark. Whereas like I think the difference from like the 60s to the 90s is like crazy.
I think I agree with you, but I think it's because we lived through it.
Yeah.
Where like if you ask me like, do I look different? I'd be like, I don't really look that different.
Yeah.
And you show me a picture 20 years ago, like, holy shit, I look
But like
really
if
fucking different.
you show me a car from 2005, like remember like cop cars in like the movies in like the 70s and 80s look like totally different. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I drive a car from 08.
Yeah, and
looks
you
kinda
wouldn't
normal.
even. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like we almost just like plateaued a little bit in terms of like certain looks and technology, and maybe I'm wrong, but it just
I
feels.
think things definitely slowed down, at the very least.
Yeah, like we just reached a point where it's
Like,
like
yeah.
it's all.
See,
even like
completely
movies.
disagree.
We've talked about this. With movies,
I would
like,
say things sped up.
Really?
I think it's just because we're.
Let's get
I think just
into it
because
then.
we've been here every day, it feels like it's changing slowly.
we had this
to
discussion
us.
about movies though, like that. You know, if you watch Jurassic Park from 1992, it's still graphics wise and shit looks awesome.
Yeah.
Where in some ways almost like better. And that's crazy. That like,
True.
You're talking like 30 years
They
later.
spent so much more time on that. Yeah.
Yeah, some of these like CGI movies now look like that looks fake compared to this. So like there's got to be some level of like we've reached critical mass or whatever you want to call it, where it's like it doesn't get much better than
Video
this. But that's
games
the
people bring
infamous,
that up
like-
with all the time.
Yeah.
Of, like you look at like PS2 to PS3 and it's like holy
Massive,
fuck.
yeah.
And then like PS4 to PS5 and you're like, yeah, it looks a little
Same
better.
thing, fucking iPhones are
Yeah.
all kind of like it's just incremental, you
Yeah.
know, until maybe there's another explosion or whatever. I don't know.
Do you feel any kind of like I was born in the wrong generation? I feel like
You don't? If I had to
like-
pick one person to be the poster child for this, it's you.
I guess so, but I feel like it's such a cringy like.
No, but
I'm an
I feel
old
like
soul.
people-
Yeah,
But you
yeah.
are. I mean, you know.
Yeah, I think I would have had a lot of fun if
How
I
old
was
are you again?
26.
Oh my god.
I think I would have had like a lot of fun if I was born like grew up with my brother and sister. Like my sister's 9 years older than me, brother's 12 years older.
Dude, I mean,
than me.
you know, the music you listen to, Star Wars,
It's all-
all
yeah,
this
it's
shit.
all
It's
old
all
shit,
old
yeah.
shit, you know?
Yeah.
I was thinking that I watched Complete Unknown the other night, and I was like, the 60s look like they ripped. I was like,
I
I was
would
like farting
for
around the West
sure-
Village on a motorcycle, shooting up to Newport. That's, I mean, there's also nothing stopping us.
I was
from
gonna say,
doing
you do that now.
Like there's like Pat has a motorcycle I could borrow. I can do it right now. I can walk out the door and go get on a motorcycle and ride to Newport. And I'm
has a
like, but in
motorcycle?
'65 it was different.
Pat is like a motorcycle like junkie.
He'll
yeah.
post like time lapse videos of him driving out to
He's
Massachusetts.
talking about
that are
like
actually
doing
fun to
like
watch.
content of like being, which would be so funny if I want him to like make a motorcycle, whatever show page, whatever it is, get a whole bunch of followers, and then come out to them as gay and just have them be like, what? Like, the motorcycle guy?
Well,
is
that would be the
fucking gay?
opposite. Once that happens, that's how he comes out to us that he's straight.
It's like, dude, you're straight.
Yeah.
Pat, you're straight. He's always like, oh, I fucking hate chicks.
Straight.
Yeah. I would like to live in a time where there's no technology. That would be cool. I don't know what my
feel
career
like-
I don't
would
think
be,
I
but,
could
like,
survive. Like I couldn't survive living in like North New Jersey, New York in the 60s, 70s, or 80s. I think maybe the 90s I could get away with.
The 90s are the greatest era of all.
Yeah. But
greatest.
like that's why I feel like I can't say I was born in the wrong era. Like if I was born in the 70s.
Why do you say you couldn't live?
I think I'd get stabbed on the subway or something going to a Yankee game.
You're not tough enough.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, I was born in the right era. I'm allergic to all fruit, buddy.
But it just imagine living in that era of like where we were talking about this like a couple episodes now of like you just get a job, work for a few years, and you've made enough money to like buy a house and retire
that's
and all
crazy.
that. That would be cool.
Dude, my dad talks about that era where he's like, yeah, when I got a job, you're underpaid for 5 years, you're overpaid the rest of your life.
Yeah, right. That's not the case anymore. It's funny because it's either like unimaginable wealth for like you can be like an internet influencer who makes like $100 million, or you can't make enough to buy a house. It's like one extreme or the other. So there's some people like this is the greatest era ever because you're one of these lucky people who can do that shit. But I mean like the Shannon Sharpe's gonna get $100 million. Like that. There's more opportunity for that than anything, but that's the very top, 0.001%.
Yeah.
The rest of us are just going to make like $50,000 until you die. I don't know what people need to stop talking about their money. That's what they need to do.
People in New York are so quick to ask what your rent is. It's kind of crazy. It's like,
That is a super common question.
It's also
how
a
much I
little,
make, yeah.
I think there's a couple of things there. I think it's a little bit of commiserating, and then it's a little backdoor way to find out like how you're doing.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
what's your rent? And they multiply it by 4.
Yeah.
I meant more though from a point of view of like that he got hit with that lawsuit as soon as he talked about making $100 million, and it's like I don't think that would have happened if you didn't talk about the money. Just keep your business quiet, bro. Get your dick hard with BlueChew. Have better sex with BlueChew. It's the original brand offering chewable tablets for better sex. And starting now, BlueChew is offering a combo so strong it'll knock your socks off and your neighbor's socks off. You'll have to move towns with the amount of noise you'll be making. BlueChew Max has arrived and combines the active ingredients of Viagra and Cialis into one chewable. That's like Thanos getting all the stones. You get the Viagra, you get the Cialis, put them together, and that means that it acts fast and it lasts. Because Viagra used to be like you get that hard on right away. Cialis is the long lasting.
Yeah, this is
time
a little
release.
Vyvanse and Adderall combo.
Yeah, there you go. Guys, be ready when she needs it, and get your first month of BlueChew for free when you go to BlueChew.com. It's made in the USA. It's prepared and shipped directly to your door, and it's just a few clicks away. They link up with a doctor. They approve you. They send it right to your door. All done online. That means no visits to the doctor, no awkward conversations, no waiting in line at the pharmacy, and they will not stop. BlueChew is on a mission. They won't stop until every man is bricked up like a brick house. So make life easier by getting harder and discover all your options at BlueChew.com. And right now, you get the first month for free when you use promo code KFC. All you got to do is pay the $5 for shipping. That's promo code KFC at BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. Thank you, BlueChew, for sponsoring the podcast. He is on the offensive, and I don't know if that's going to work for him the way he's doing it.
What's that?
I
The
think
thing you
it's
texted me?
Shannon
The
Shannon Sharpe.
Busby?
Yeah, so Shannon Sharpe a couple days ago announced he's going to get a $100 million deal, and then this girl comes out and says, this girl he dated consensually for 2 years, but is saying that he forced himself on her on two different occasions. And he came out right away and made a video being like, all these allegations are false. He said, and the girl lawyered up with the Tony Busby, who's like the Jay-Z like celebrity lawyer. He goes after, and he said, Tony Busby is going to put out a 30-second snippet of a sex tape that makes me look like an abuser. I challenge them to put out the full video. Go ahead, put out the full 10 minutes. If I had it, I would, but I don't have access to it.
Oh my goodness.
So, but so I don't know. A lot of it, like the timing seems suspect. I think it's a little bit weird. Like if you're in a consensual relationship, that does not mean that you can't be abused or assaulted. But it's just all a lot of like weird circumstances. But when you're 54 and you're dating a 19-year-old,
what the fuck?
I didn't know that at first. Like I do think there's probably a lot of weird shit on both sides, but that to me is where it starts.
Yeah.
Boil it down to that. And that doesn't mean, it's not illegal. I mean, I think they need to change the age or something like that. There needs to be it's not based on just you do this and you're legal. It should be like an age gap thing. You know what I mean?
What, like the old was it divide your age in half
plus 7 or whatever. Like if you're 18, you are legal.
So weird. We were like concerned with that when we were like 20.
I know, but isn't that funny that like the math, dude? More people were concerned about that when they were like 20 than like the 50-year-olds. The 50-year-olds just say it's illegal.
Oh
it
my
should,
God,
it
the
should
New
be.
York Post headline is horrible. Shannon Sharpe to rape.
Yeah, that was So then that was interesting though. They put out this. She put up a phone call clip, and she says they're arguing, and she says, "Stop manipulating me." And he goes, "If you say that word one more time, I'm going to choke the shit out of you," which is not a good thing. But the headline of like, "I'm going to choke you" versus if you say that, like it's like Shannon Sharpe says he's going to kill woman, and it's like if you do that one more time, I'm going to kill you. Yeah. So it's all but it all comes about once people find out that you're flaunting your money. But yeah, this is going to get. He did offer her $10 million up front to not say anything, and I know that looks bad, but I don't know. There's definitely a world where it's like that doesn't necessarily mean I did anything illegal, but there's a bunch of shit that's going to be distasteful. There's a bunch of shit that's going to be private and weird, and I'd rather that just not be out there. But the look of I'm willing to give this person $10 million to go away certainly looks guilty. But if you're about to make $100 million and your people are saying, this will hurt your brand, if we can make this go away, we should. But I don't know.
So I'm not even giving someone $10 million. I'm instead taking $90 million to not have a hassle.
That's really what it is. And it's also like you're getting offered $100 million, but not after these accusations come out. So now you're going to get knocked down to like 50. So you might as well give her 10 so that you start doing the math and all this.
Yeah.
But it definitely does not look and sound good. And then he released like text messages that she sent to him that are like crazy explicit, being like one was like, I want to put my tongue in your ass and then you put a black baby in me.
Oh my
I was like,
goodness.
Oh my God, this is going to get so fucking messy.
I don't know if this is distasteful to bring up right now. Andor debuted last night in the Star Wars show.
Is hilarious.
Yeah, she kept saying put a big black baby in me.
Oh my
Was
God.
she white?
She's white, yeah. She's white. Her name is, he goes, and this is another thing, they slide this in there. He goes, her name is Gabby, which also is a little weird because she filed as Jane Doe, and I don't think you're supposed to out people, but I also sometimes think if you're going to drag me and we're going to be public, then you got to be public. But he goes, her name's Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans, which is a way to like slide in that she's also an OnlyFans girl. So it's a whole lot of mudslinging and all that.
Dude,
she's so young, and
the black baby reminds me of one of my favorite jokes. It was like 2001. Brady, Pats won the Super Bowl. Brady was on Letterman, and I guess at the time, some woman had offered. I'm sure it wasn't a real offer. I'm sure it was a psychotic fan or whatever. And someone had offered Brady $1 million for a sample of his sperm so they could make their baby or whatever.
Dude, that's actually a great idea. They should become studs.
And David Letterman goes, "You should take it. Just send him Vince Wilforks or something like that." And I was like, "That's fucking
that
funny."
would be great.
Of course, nowadays it's not okay.
Yeah, not okay. I think there's a Jason Bateman movie about that. The switch up, the change up, something like that.
You're mixing up two movies. There is the change up. The change up stars Jason Bateman and Ryan Reynolds, a great movie. And then you're thinking of
The Switch?
No, The Switch is also a Jason Bateman movie. You were thinking of God, what's it called? It's Vince Vaughn. Vince Vaughn has like 1,000 kids.
Yeah.
No. I'm thinking of the Jason Bateman one where Jennifer Aniston she's going to get inseminated. He goes into the bathroom all drunk and spills the cup, and he's like, I guess I'll just put mine in there.
That is The Switch. Yeah.
That's funny. I'll just put mine in there.
I was going to say, Andor, the new Star Wars show, debuted last night. Big, like, change in Star Wars culture. They said rape in a Star Wars for the first time.
Whoa.
Really?
There's an attempted rape. It was adult as fuck. I didn't even know how to...
Like a guy forced himself?
Like, he's like... It's heavily implied. He's grabbing her. She says, he tried to rape me. It was like... Now, Andor is like Star Wars for adults. It's like slow,
dark,
methodical, dark, fucking real mature show. But I was sitting there in my fucking X-Wing helmet and my lightsaber. Oh my God. What am I watching?
So me and Baby Yoda are like, holy shit.
It's like, oh my goodness.
Helmet covered Yoda's eyes.
The ears too. Don't listen, Grogu. And don't listen.
That's fucking funny.
That's really hilarious.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Texted Jeff D. Law. I was like, you didn't warn me for that one.
In Shutter Island, they said the N word, like hard R, and I had such like a white woman reaction. I was like, oh God. And I was so proud of myself. I was like, wow.
That's a good check.
That's a good check.
Have you ever seen? Me and you saw this recently. I think we were both watching like on TBS, the Longest Yard remake with Adam Sandler.
Oh yeah,
Stone Cold goes
Stone Cold
hard
Goldberg.
at Nelly. Yeah. Oh, is it Goldberg or Stone Cold?
Both of them are.
Yeah, but Stone Cold says.
I think Stone Cold. Yeah.
I mean, he blatantly drops a hard R right on Nelly, and that show that movie is like a fun sports movie.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, they used to throw this shit around like.
That's how a white man runs a football.
Did you guys talk about Stone Cold driving his ATV into the fans?
Did we talk about that on this?
No.
Oh, at WrestleMania,
so
he
fucking
drove
funny.
his ATV down the ramp, and he crashes it into the barrier, and there was a girl sitting front row, but there's still like several feet.
Yeah.
And she like it hits, and she kind of gets jarred, and then I think she sees the potential for like dollar signs, and then just like collapses into her
She
seat.
was pissed.
Watch her just fall down. Like, bro, if anything, that's like if you're sitting front row at WrestleMania, it's an honor. I'd be like, run me over.
So this
Spit on my
is the
face and run
dream.
me over.
That being said, my first wrestling event ever, I was front row for the Raw after WrestleMania 20. Stone Cold comes out, does the beer bash. Beer all over my lap as a 4-year-old, I think.
Yeah.
And my dad was ready to fucking jump the barricade and fight Stone Cold. And it was like, no, this is an honor.
Yeah.
But my brother brought up a great point about this. Nick Khan had to go over to this girl right afterwards and like calm her down.
Well,
make
even
sure we don't
Stone
have a
Cold
lawsuit.
kind of gave her like
He was like, "Are you all right?"
Yeah.
And then this was also kind of funny. He misses the ramp to go on
He's supposed
stage.
to go up that black thing there, that black ramp. So he's got to stop.
and he has to back it up.
And then they have to help him move
So my
it.
brother said, he's like, what if this girl goes backstage? She goes, I want that man sobriety tested right now. Right after he does the beer test. What happens? What happens then? He
Look,
was
he's
drunk and
running
he
into the
crashed
thing.
into me and he hurt me at WrestleMania. Look at this. He got the
that's
wheel
tough.
stuck.
They're all
He might have been
pulling
drunk.
for him. Yeah.
There's a chance he was drunk.
And then you would think at this point that he would be like, all right, let me like figure my shit out. He's just like,
He went so fast. I was watching from the fucking press box like, oh my God, he's got to slow down.
The
huge
giant
ramp.
The huge ramp.
and then watch this though. He does little like double middles, and then he zips
He
down
books it to the
Watch how
ring.
fast he goes down the ramp here. He is moving, bro. Bro, that's fast. So like an indoor, that's a good ramp. He's got enough space there.
He's
but
so badass.
And then what? He just kind of said like, "You guys are awesome," and then left.
So both nights they had a legend come announce the attendance of
Got
the
it.
building. So the first night it was Shawn Michaels. The second night it was Stone Cold. And he did a funny bit where he's like, I don't know if this number's true, so I'm going to have to verify myself. 1. And the whole crowd went, what? 2. What? 3. What? 4. What? It was great.
He is awesome. He is great.
Can you have a golf cart in New York City? I feel like I've never seen one. Can you drive one?
Probably not.
I'd venture to guess no, but you should be able to.
Yeah, you could do like
I
the
would love
suburban
to get back
guys.
on that scooter trend. If we can have the city bikes, I think we should have the scooters.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
the Lime scooters?
yeah, that was that. I'm a scooter.
I mean, you
guy.
can have them. They just,
No,
it
but
has
we
to
should
be your
have
own.
them like
Yeah.
you can pick them up and drop them off. It's actually I think safer. Like the city bikes are heavy
Yeah.
and you're pedaling and like
Scooters
I
are
don't know.
definitely, I think, definitely safer.
Yeah, I'm surprised that if you can do that, you should be able to do this. City should just do city scoots too or whatever.
Although
you know?
the dead zones of those, I didn't realize they had dead zones. I went to Atlanta last year for PFL. It was such a hot day.
What, it just cuts off or something?
Yeah. And I wanted to see the hotel they filmed Loki at. So I said, fuck it, I'm going to take one of those scooters.
Yeah.
Took it over, got back to my hotel, and it stopped working. And I was like far away from my hotel, but I was like, I guess I just got to fucking lug this thing. The heaviest scooter you could
Yeah.
ever imagine when it's dead. It's
Yeah.
like a 100-pound Razor scooter at that point. Lugged it all the way back to my hotel, tried to like say, all right, I'm leaving it here. It's like, no, this is a dead zone. I had to lug this thing a mile away from my hotel
shit.
and then walk back. I took the scooter so I wouldn't sweat, and I got back to my hotel room like boring. Yeah. It's horrible.
I was cruising around Austin. I took it like into the suburbs of Austin. I was
Frankie's
like,
a big scooter guy, so on the
Yeah.
Pup Punk dates, like in DC, we were zipping around. Me
Yeah,
and Nick
it's
Hamilton
awesome.
could not keep up with him. He's like
Goes
zipping and zooming
full,
out of
yeah.
traffic. Yeah.
I had one for a couple days in New York, and I was taking it from the old office up to Grand Central, and I was flying up and down Park Avenue, and I was like, "This is so sick," and I will
Were
eventually
you
get
lugging
hurt.
it onto the train?
No, it really was only 2 days, and then it broke. We got like a prototype, so I think I brought it on the Metro North with me, and then like it was like one trip and it broke. But yeah, I'm a big time scooter guy. That'd be fucking fire. So Pup Punk coming up. My Mom's Basement still cooking. Anything on the horizon?
May 4th, I'm doing my first ever 24-hour stream. I hope people tune in.
Oh, fuck yeah.
What's that for?
For what?
May the 4th.
Just May the 4th, and it's the 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith this year.
Okay.
So we're celebrating Revenge of the 5th as well. It'll be
that.
like 11 a.m. on May the 4th to 11 a.m. on May the 5th. Have like a ton of stuff planned for it.
Were you doing it in office or at home?
In office, yeah, in the Pup Punk studio.
Very
so I think
cool.
Nick Hamilton, Jake Bastard probably going to be with me probably the whole 24 hours. It's going to be.
Oh, you know what I want to do? I want to
ridiculously
play
fun.
some WWF 2K with you.
Oh, that'd be great.
I started the other day, and I'm very bad at it. I have to learn
Once
it's
you
a lot
learn
of
the basic stuff, you'll
Yeah.
get the hang of it.
The very beginning though is very setting up your faction and your group and all that.
Oh, you're doing the My Rise stuff.
I must have just clicked into that by accident. Is there a place where you can just wrestle and go?
Totally a place where you could wrestle and go. Also, you'd probably like the showcase mode this year. They have two story modes. One of them's called showcase mode, where you play through classic matches. So you'll play Hogan versus
You
Yokozuna.
could do Hell in a Cell '98.
Not that one, because this year's faced on the Samoan Bloodline. So it's all matches that the Samoan Bloodline were involved in. Afa and Sika, The Rock, the fucking Head Shrinkers, all of that. So it's fun.
Should we get the gang back together and do that little game that we played?
Oh,
Yeah.
Pico Park, that was fun.
The three of us and Fake
And
Meek Phil.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
good.
I'd love all those. I'm
it
definitely
was
I
fun.
don't know if there's any other little collaborative,
I'm sure there
cooperative games.
Even just get together and play Mario Party one day.
You know what we gotta play? Gang Beasts. Have you played that?
I think
Gang
I've heard of it.
Beasts.
Aren't they little color guys?
Yeah, you're these
You
little,
throw each other off.
Yes.
Yes.
You're on a dock or something like that.
Great game.
Yeah, you
Yes,
played it?
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, shit,
And
I
you,
definitely have
headbutt-
played this.
You walk very funny, and you throw your arms and headbutt people, and you pick them up and throw them off, but you can climb back up. And
It's
then
almost
there's-
like that Fall Guy game
Yeah.
without the the obstacles. It's not like a race. It's just like a battle royal, right?
But yeah, so then you throw.
Oh my
people,
God,
and
throw
then
them onto the subway
you get hit by
tracks?
a subway
Holy
track.
shit.
Yeah, it's so fun. I play with Keegan. He kicks my ass every fucking time. But you get hit by a train. There's one you do it on a dock, and sharks jump out of the water onto the dock and eat you. There's one where you're in an aquarium and a giant octopus comes out and kills you.
Yeah, this is my shit.
But yeah,
I wanna
this
play
one
this.
we'll play, and it's so frustrating and annoying. You just headbutt people and smash them and throw them.
Oh.
Yeah, and then you got to climb back up. This guy's about to get creamed by a fucking train.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh wow.
Oh no. They can't get back
But they
up
make
there.
it intentionally hard to maneuver. It's not that easy to climb up. So you got to hit 1,000 buttons just to make this little climb, and then boom!
Oh!
It's so fun. We
Draw.
gotta do it.
Love it.
We gotta do it. Yeah, you do best of
I'm in on
7.
that.
It's fun. All right, so yeah, we'll do some video game streams. My Mom's Basement's always cooking. Be ready for the May 4th stream. Get ready for Pup Punk.
4
when
episodes
Rone's
of
back.
My Mom's Basement this week as well.
Ooh, it's a big week.
Big week.
Is mine out?
Yes.
Yeah, go listen to The Last of Us talk with me, Clem, and Bob. Andor talk. Whoa, I don't know what that one is. That's cool. Thank you, Bob. Appreciate it, man.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Nice to dog.
All right, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, like, and leave a comment below. Click that button.
Or I'll cut off my finger.